Ladies, it's Saturday. Yes, you saw that right. Saturday. Who's her? You and I. Now, I know today I normally do Sat Our Day, which is our day to get in the Word to find out what's on God's heart concerning you and I. But I thought, let me switch it up a little bit and just explain to everyone what and who her is. I must give my brother credit. You know, we have a family group chat, and every Saturday we normally greet each other with Happy Sat Our Day. And one day he put Sat Her Day, and I thought, oh my God. Now I love a play on words. I love anything different. If you know me, you know that. But I love a play on words, and when he said that, it was like, oh my God, I'm stealing that. And I'm taking that, and now it's mine. So, Pee-wee, thank you so much for allowing the Lord to use you to give me a name. Look, that's how you have to do it. I'm not stealing it. I'm not taking it. The Lord used him. I recognize that. Hopefully, he recognizes that. But I named today Sat Her Day. This month is my birthday month, and I like to do things that are different for my birthday. You know, the average person will throw a party, go out to eat, and do different things, but I enjoy celebrating women. It is a passion of mine, and I used to always say it's my ministry, but I struggled with the idea of how can this be my ministry if I'm not a pastor or a pastor's wife in a church, because normally when you think ministry, you think in the four walls of the church, and usually the ministry is ran by the pastor's wife or someone that they put in charge. And what I've come to know over the years, really just the last 3 to 4 years, really, when I opened up my studio, the Lord told me one day, this is your ministry. You are touching women. You are helping them to look beautiful. Not only that, if you ever been to my studio, it's not just to come, I pick up and I leave. It's not just I come and get my measurements taken and I leave. There is interaction. We are having a conversation. Sometimes we're crying. Sometimes we're laughing. Sometimes we're encouraging. Sometimes it depends on who the person is, what the time is, what's going on. But it's never just about clothes. Clothes is just the bait on the hook. And I realized that. Oh my goodness, I can be called to women, as I've always said, and it not happen in the traditional way. And so the Lord had been giving me things as it relates to her, and I was so confused with what do I do with this? Like, I have all of these different ideas and visions, but I can't seem to put it all in one place to make it make sense to move forth in it. And so I want to thank my pastor, Pastor Rachel Jenkins. At the end of last year, I hit a place where I realized there are goals I'm taking from year to year to year to year, carrying them over and writing them down, doing what the Bible says, writing the vision, making it plain. I'm praying over it, believing, talking about it, but not doing anything about it. And I realized when it comes to her, I just didn't know what to do, where to start. I had an idea in my mind of what it was, and so I reached out to her, and guess what? A part of my story was being open, honest, and transparent to say, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I've carried her over year to year for a couple of years now, and I'm not getting anywhere. But I'm not getting anywhere because I'm not doing anything. And she really helped me to break it down and to see. She shed light and gave me clarity. So thank you, Pastor Rachel, for that, because now I feel like, now I can really even explain. Why? Because the Lord has now defined it to me. And so I want to spend Saturday sharing with you what her is. Her is nothing more than women with a story. The power of a story. You know, the greatest story told is the one of Jesus Christ. The journey he went through, the process that he went through, what he did in the process of him beginning his birth and him ending his death. But as we know, even after he was crucified, he still was resurrected and went to do even more things. You know, it started with birth, his journey. I remember in the Bible, he talks about his first miracle, but then he was crucified. After he was crucified, he came back. When we read the story of Jesus, there is so much to be told. And in that story, because of his journey, I'm free. Because of his journey, I'm living the abundant life that he said that I can have. Because of his story, I'm saved. Because of his story, I am healed. And so the power of a story saves a person time. A story saves a person money. A story, the right stories, it saves a person pain. The right story, it saves a person struggling. They don't have to struggle. If I hear the right story to get the right wisdom and the right knowledge, it can help me not to make the mistakes that you made or the mistakes I was going to make. It gives us knowledge and wisdom, and knowledge and wisdom gives us access into our future and into our next. Now, as women, we love a story. You know, it often starts off like, girl, let me tell you, or, ooh, did you hear? But that's not the type of stories that we are sharing. We're not being messy. We're not spilling tea. We're not sipping tea. That is petty. That is for girls, right? And so because we are mature, we realize that what we have gone through can, in fact, help somebody else. Because the key word, what we went through. If you went through it, that means that you came out on the other end. It means that you came out on the other side. And hopefully, prayerfully, you learned the lesson, if there was a lesson to be learned. And now you can take that story and the lesson that you learned and share it with someone else. The 4 areas of target for her is ministry, music, business. I have fashion, but I realize everybody's not necessarily into designing or sewing. So business and then life. Life is the mother. You may not be in ministry or have a title in ministry. You may not have a business or even want a business, right? But you're a mother. There's a story to be told about your journey and your process of being a mother. What about a wife? What about the women who went through an illness, a severe illness, right? And they came out and made it out on the other end. And now they can talk to you about their process in hopes to help you. Her is ladies, women sharing their stories to support, encourage, empower, to motivate, and to push other women in their process and on their journey of becoming. Sort of like the butterfly. That is the logo, the emblem of her. Why? Because there are 4 stages that a butterfly goes through, if you know them. But nobody talks about the 3 stages. The beginning of the butterfly. We ooh and ah about the beautiful butterfly that it has become. But it had a journey. It had like I like to say it was developed. It went through a process of development. It went through a process of transformation in order to become the beautiful butterfly that we know, we love, and we talk about. And many people, that is their thing. Butterflies is not my thing. I am a heart person. I absolutely love hearts. That's why in my Adore logo, when my husband created it years ago, he incorporated the heart. I'm not a butterfly person, but I've been using it and not even knowing why I was using it. It was just like the best emoji kind of to go with her besides flowers. And it's like, okay, I didn't really want a flower. And just recently, after I had my conversation in meeting with Pastor Rachel, as I said earlier, the Lord just began to make sense of everything that he's given me, everything that I've been using, everything that I've been saying, and everything that I've been doing that I did not realize. It all works together, as the word says, for my good. It all works together for her. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about what her is. If you have a story that can help the next female, that can motivate her, that can save her time, that can save her money, that can save her from struggling. Now, there are some struggles that I am aware we have to go through, because in that we learn lessons, and in that we have a story to tell, but what do you have that you've been through that you're willing to share, to help, to encourage, to empower the next woman? The power of a story. Once again, the butterfly, the 4 stages that it goes through. If the butterfly in the stage of caterpillar, which is the 2nd stage, decided, you know what? My spots are not coming in. My beautiful shades are not coming in. My wings are not coming in fast enough. Then it would have died in the process, in the middle, in the process of transitioning and developing. But the caterpillar, whether it understood it or understands it or not, had to continue to go through in order to become. And so I want to encourage you with letting you know what her is about. To continue moving, continue going, continue on with the journey. I know the journey may seem like it's taken forever. Where are my wings, Lord? When is this going to happen? When am I going to get breakthrough? When is my blessing going to come? And I want to encourage you to keep going. You are almost there. You are almost there. And you know what? Once you become, there's still more to do. There's still more lessons to learn. There's still more processes to go through. There's still a journey even after you become, because the Bible says we go from glory to glory to glory. So no matter where you are in life, whether you're the seed, the caterpillar has 4 stages. The first stage is a seed. And the first stage is an egg, and I like to call that a seed. The second stage is a caterpillar. I like to call that development. The third stage is a chrysalis, which I like to call that development. And the fourth stage is the butterfly, as we all know it, which means it is becoming. And so that's why I gave it the 3 names, which of course, when I came up with that, I had no idea. And then when the Lord began to break it down to me, it all made sense. Don't get stuck in the stage of an egg. Don't get stuck in the stage of a caterpillar. Don't get stuck in the stage of a chrysalis. Why? Because the Lord designed you to become the beautiful butterfly with colors, with wings, where you can fly. But then even after flying, there is soaring. You know, a plane, it gets to the level that it needs to. It has to fly. But then once it gets there, there's a time where he can put it on cruise control, if that's what a plane does, and just allow the plane to glide in the air without the work, without trying to shift it up and down. But guess what? When it's time to land, he has to kick back in gear and now take control. So even after you become and get your wings and fly, there still is more. Soar, but there's still more work to be done. Her story, what she went through, her journey, how she went through, and her testimony, how she overcame. That is with her, what her is all about. Her is you, her is me, because we all have a story that can help to motivate, empower, encourage, support, and push the next female. That female can be older than us. That female can be younger than us. That female could even be the generation that seems to be lost. Our young ladies needs to hear the power of your testimony, the power of your story. Now, let me say this. A testimony, a story doesn't necessarily mean it has to be bad. It doesn't necessarily mean that you've had to go through something traumatic, but it does say this is what I went through. And we all know no matter how big or how small our journey is, or how big or small the pressure is while we're on our journey, it seems big to us. What I've gone through may be nothing for you. You may be like, girl, child, please, that ain't nothing. Let me tell you what I went through. But I went through it, and you can't take away how it made me feel. You can't take away the pressure. You can't take away the fear, the pain, all of that. That was a part of my process. But when I decide to continue to go on, it makes all things work together for my good. All things can't work together for your good if you get stuck, if you stay dormant, if you decide to quit, if you decide I don't want to do this anymore because it's taking too long. And so your story, my story, can help my daughter's generation. She's 18. Her story can help someone who's in 13 or 14 and going through things that I've never encountered. Right? But the power of a story, your story matters. And I know the journey may seem like it's long, but I want to encourage you to keep on going. You're almost there. Her, that's you, and that's me. I look forward to really doing some things with her as the Lord leads me. I'll probably be doing small groups in targeted areas, but however the Lord leads me, when he leads me, I'm going to do it. I want to spotlight some women. Hey, how can I put your story and share your story from my platform to help somebody else? Because there's things that other women have gone through that I've never encountered. And so I can't speak to what they went through. And if I'm not careful, I will downplay because, oh, that's nothing. Or downplay what the pain that they encountered on that journey. So I want to give women a voice. Once again, this is not about being messy. What is her not? Before I go, let me say that because I didn't even read this. I'm like kind of not even reading none of my notes. I'm just talking. But I want to also explain what her is not. Her is not gossiping. It's not women coming together to gossip. We're not talking about somebody's story even once we hear it. right? What is her not? Her is not venting. This is not going to be a venting session, a venting, opportunity to just get it all off. Now, there's a time and place for that. And that's why it's important for us to have relationships, right? Because there's some things I may want to vent and share with you that is not meant for my whole Facebook or social media platform. And her is not bashing. We're not bashing women for what they went through. When they go through something and we know we told them not to do it, the first thing you think, or some of us say is, I told you, if you would have listened to me. We're not bashing anybody. So we're not gossiping. We're not venting. We're not bashing. What is her? Her is about being open, honest, and transparent. Realizing and recognizing that what I went through, what I may currently be going through can help you. And so once again, the journey may seem long, but hold on and keep going because you're almost there. I love you.